6 NFL players who were in gangs. Before we start, I want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. And comment down below by saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Big Hit Central. Today, we'll talk about 6 NFL players who were in gangs. Let's head into it. Number 1. Jason Avant. Avant openly admits to being part of a gang and dealing drugs in his neighborhood when he was growing up. He also openly admits that he was the worst gang member and drug dealer ever, not because he was being a badass, but because it wasn't natural to him despite his surroundings, and it never felt right. His grandmother had a major influence on him and used her strong sense of faith to help Avant get away from the life her 2 children had been driven to. After dealing drugs and bringing home $1,000 a day, sometimes as a 6th grader, Avant was able to turn it around and make the NFL, thanks to his grandmother never giving up on him. Number 2. Deshaun Jackson. Jackson made a big splash a couple of years ago, but not in a good way. There were rumors of his gang ties that were so rampant it may have played a part in the Philadelphia Eagles letting him go. It was a pretty big deal, and many people decided to throw their opinion out in support or against Jackson. One person who was adamant that Jackson is a good guy and the Eagles were in the wrong is Richard Sherman, who is from the same rough city and grew up with him. Like J.R. Smith, Jackson has been seen throwing up gang signs in games, and in particular against D'Angelo Hall of the Washington Redskins. Now they are on the same team. Number 3. Brandon Marshall. Marshall is known to have too many off-the-field issues to count and has had multiple run-ins with the law for various crimes, for things ranging from petty theft in college to multiple counts of domestic violence to having problems with gangs. One incident in particular has landed Marshall so high on this list, and it resulted in an accidental death of a former teammate, Darren Williams.
24-year-old Darren Williams
was shot and killed early New Year's morning.
Club the stretch Hummer Williams was fired upon.
Back in 2006, Marshall, his cousin, and some other players from the Broncos went to celebrate Kenyon Kmart Martin's birthday at a nightclub in Denver. At some point during the evening, an argument broke out between Marshall's group and a group of men with the gang affiliations. Witnesses claim Marshall and his cousin continued arguing with the men later outside the club, and later that night, Darren Williams was killed in a drive-by shooting in front of the club. Number 4. Marvin Harrison. Harrison may be the quietest athlete on the list and has not really been known for gang-related activity while on the football field or growing up. However, he was in a pretty high-profile murder case right before the end of his career, involving 2 shootings of the same victim, with the second shooting resulting in a brutal close-up death of the victim. It began at Harrison's bar in Philadelphia called Playmakers, when the victim, allegedly a known drug dealer, came into the bar to talk to Harrison, and it turned into an argument. Harrison followed the man out of the bar, and shots were fired at the victim, hitting him in the hand. A year or so later, the victim was featured on ESPN 60 and claimed on TV that Harrison had shot him and he would probably be killed for saying it. Just a few short weeks later, the victim, Dwight "Pop" Dixon, was gunned down in his car just a block away from Harrison's bar. In both shootings, the bullet casings matched a gun owned by Harrison, and the video camera from his bar just happened to be turned off for 3 minutes at the time of the fatal shooting. Number 5. Adam "Pacman" Jones. Jones has had so many off-the-field issues, no one is keeping count anymore. He has been mentioned as a suspect in multiple gang-affiliated homicides and shootings in Atlanta, along with a few other areas. Basically, when Jones causes trouble in a club or bar, there seems to be a shooting at the same place almost immediately after. He has been named by and seen with members of the International Robbing Crew of Atlanta who went on a murder spree that increased the murder rate in Atlanta by 20%. According to an article on ESPN, which documents a timeline of the off-field issues Jones has made throughout his career, it mentions a testimony from a member of the IRC who would eventually be indicated for 3 counts of murder that claimed he had seen and heard Jones tell another member of the IRC he would pay him to shoot the man he had just argued with, and they agreed on a payment. Number 6. Aaron Hernandez. We all knew this guy would be number 1 on this list, although Crittenton was very close to number 1 because he killed a mother of 4 in an accident while trying to kill a rival gang member who robbed him. Hernandez, on the other hand, simply thought he was untouchable and decided to murder multiple people over the last 3 to 5 years, while somehow still maintaining a high level of play on the field. He had the potential to be one of the best tight ends and win multiple Super Bowls with the Patriots. Instead, he decided to stick with his criminal lifestyle and act as if he couldn't be touched. He has already been convicted for the murder of Odin Lloyd and is on trial for the murder of 2 other men from a couple years ago in Boston. There is a documentary called Killer Inside: The Mind of Aaron Hernandez on Netflix, and it explores his conviction for the murder of Odin Lloyd, other murder cases in which he was a suspect, and the factors in his life that shaped his behavior. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.